measures. We know that civil partnership is not marriage equality, and we've come to demand our rights. When we demand marriage for all, we must remember everyone in our beautifully diverse LGBTQ rainbow. Last month, the government-appointed Gender Recognition Advisory Group presented a report to Minister for Social Protection, Joan Burton, outlining recommendations and criteria for transgender people to apply for legal recognition in the form of gender change on their birth certs. You may have already heard that these recommendations are half measures. They include offensive and discriminatory criteria that trans people must undergo medical procedures, diagnosis of gender identity disorder, and cannot be legally recognized in a relationship. To paraphrase Jennifer Finney Boylan, a trans woman writing in Thursday's New York Times, it's easier for society to understand differences in who you want to go to bed with than who you want to go to bed as. Frequently, LGBT people struggle with this distinction too. But the LGBT acronym exists to unite us. And for me, when I talk about marriage equality, I'm not talking about marriage for gay and lesbian people. I'm talking about marriage for all LGBT people. Some trans people in Ireland are currently married. In those marriages where one partner is trans, yet cannot have their gender recognized, we effectively have same-sex marriages. Rather than allowing these couples to remain married, the advisory group is so afraid of marriage equality that they will ask trans people to divorce in order to have their gender recognized. This proposal is callous and disregards the reality that many trans people are in loving relationships. Further complications arise with requirements to divorce in Ireland. 4 years separation and no prospect of reconciliation. For trans people with families, making a choice between gender recognition or relationship recognition is impossible. One proposed medical requirement is the diagnosis of gender identity disorder. Many trans people find this mental disorder classification insulting, offensive, and inaccessible. You may remember that up until 1990, homosexuality was classified as a mental disorder by the World Health Organization. The implication was that being gay in and of itself implied impairments to judgment and capability. Today, this classification seems absurd. Instead of a diagnosable mental disorder, being LG or B is now seen as an aspect of identity which is self-determined. Imagine if civil partnership required a homosexuality diagnosis as evidence prior to relationship recognition. There would be outrage. Yet this is the advisory group's recommendation for the legal recognition of trans people. Like lesbian, gay, and bisexual people, most trans people feel that they are the experts on their experiences, and procedures for accessing legal rights should reflect this. Equality is nothing unless it's equality for all. The past few years, the trans community has come out in force to these marches and stood in solidarity with the fight for marriage equality in Ireland, not knowing if they were included in the campaign, but convinced of the need to be a part of the fight for LGBT rights in Ireland. Now it's your turn to stand in solidarity with our trans siblings. We cannot accept the advisory group's recommendations. They're homophobic and they're transphobic. We need to take action, and we need to do that as an entire community. It's about human rights for all. Trans people are facing an impossible choice between their identities and their families, and we need you to take action with us now. Watch for campaigns from Transgender Equality Network Ireland, TENI, at www.teni.ie, and also watch for campaigns from LGBT Noise. Go online, on Twitter, or on Facebook and get involved. The fight for marriage equality will not be won until we all have marriage equality. Thank you.